Well, hello everyone. You're welcome back to the Little Brother Careers 2, and you see right here is we have put together right here is two pictures right here that were taken from back in the early 1990 80 89 and as well as 95 sometime around there, and you see right here is this right here will be a picture right here of me when I was very young and knowing about like anything about what you call for careers though and like any type of jobs that for knowing about for like if it's going to be what's called a younger sibling or so in the family. And when I was looking at this, I was also thinking about as to where this picture right here I talked about for like a little boy, and thinking about as to where if anybody say, yeah, is that really you or no? I'm like, but you have right here is a shadow right here, and then you have right here the example right here, like with me in the bubble lawnmower. If anybody wonders, well, what type of jobs do you think that you'll be able to get while pushing a bubble lawnmower, like any types software programming license right there. But you see right here is I would include right here is the clock right here. So if anybody wanted to where, yeah, about what's your favorite time, if it's going to be what you call maybe a walk in the park or somewhere like that, or if it's the time to where you're going to be pushing around, getting some practice experience with the toy, especially learning some new programs. So if anybody wanted to where that for how people respect our careers, such as what you call like a little brother. A little brother that they get a job that maybe that nobody else knows, really understands very well, and thinking about as to her that what you call for a little brother, and you are like warning to her, yeah, well, you all know about he's Matthew or somebody like they're not a little boy anymore. They got that. They've earned their career. You'll do this or do that. You do their studies and talents with that. So you're like we're looking at some of these pictures right here. And I want to use this picture right here just to mainly talk about it, because I had not, I know of remember using it before. So whenever I seen this picture right here, it's like thinking you have right here's a shadow. So anything about what you call anything about digital designing that I mainly want to talk about, then you have right here is an example right here of like a like a key code and like a activation like you're using any type of software program as well as a license. So if there's going to be like a little brother that's going to be confident using quite a bit of stuff, and I was also thinking about if I want to go ahead and do this, we say sequel 2 right here of talk about for a little brother, and I was also thinking about if I want to use a few shapes, and as well as other sources of designs also, but I'm also thinking about for anything else that maybe I can use as well. But but on your hand with these pictures right here is that they show right here some memories from when I was very young, and anybody that may want to are looking at some of those pictures and thinking about really that if it's really a job or if it's just something that you were just doing because you were in the front yard or anything like that. We may have our stories especially, but I mainly want to talk about here is the tools. And for anybody who wanted to work that how old were we whenever we first start using a typical tool, and it could be like maybe a screwdriver or a wrench or any type of tool like that, getting some practice with some of those plastic tools. And you're like warranted toward it that the very first tool that you can maybe remember using, and if anybody warranted toward it, is the paper clip even included. I'm like you're like warranted toward that you may have used a paper clip just to be able to fix something, but think about it. You have right here some of these pictures right here, and want to know about is to where that with any type of tool, especially that you have right here is the bird. I went and sketched right here with the pen right here. It's like the clock and then the bird. I was also thinking about this idea right here is to where that this for like 8 a.m. if anybody has a favorite time, but there would be like a program to where they would be able to show like a clock symbol about as to where that from their time from a special occasion or ways of how to celebrate, and for like for to celebrate for 2 or 3 years that you've been into this career, and then that goes toward it. Yeah, that if it does that mean promotions or does that mean any type things such as higher scholarship or anything like that. But that's something to think about as well. But talk about for like any type of tools, the type of tool that maybe that like I say that if you think of a tool that's used to to fix something, and one of those was like to make the images, anything that you're doing, make it look a little bit more real. And when we look at a photo, do we necessarily think about as toward it's what you call just like on what you call, an 8 by 5 or so, measured, paper format or something like any type of photo, or do we want to kind of look at it as to where they make it look a little bit more realistic? And I think that that's pretty neat, just to kind of use some of these programs just to make stuff like this pretty realistic as well. Because on the other hand, that stuff that from your early childhood and since you were young that you were kind of thinking about that any type of career that you would like to have one of these days. Besides the pictures of from whenever I had the pacifier, like if anybody warns us to where, yeah, have right here is that right there is the tool, but then this right here will be right here is like for little brother careers. And I was also thinking about whenever I was painting this, make it look like if it was what you call like display, like on for baby food, and this right here will be like the masking tool used right here for the tool. So just to get introduced to the tools a little bit more, especially, but for like little brother careers too, and for whenever this right here, I was probably about maybe maybe 9, 10 years. I would say about 8 years old whenever this picture was taken. I kept thinking about, well, if that's supposed to be me right there, or any other boy that they say that you'll get into like for little brother careers also. But then you have right here is me right here pushing a lawnmower, but the bubble lawnmower, and then Solvay for software programming license. But other than that, they have it talk about for anybody, like say if you're going to be have a little boy or little girl, and what I know is like, yeah, that for little boy about that when we know necessarily about for whenever a kid that grows up and then they're like warned toward it that they want to be treated equally, or maybe if it's anything about what you call that their career and study. And for knowing about for like little brother careers, that little brother, does that basically mean between a between little, from little mascot to like maybe if anybody wanted to, or yeah, that anywhere you go that you maybe know people that may already know your name because maybe you've gone there many times just to shop, or if you're in there getting some stuff and people call your name sometimes, like if you're like what you call like like not really like a celebrity, but like a mascot, if anybody warrants to like a mascot. And I know that anybody that they're likely warrant toward it, yeah, that they know you in particular, and if they've seen you maybe on Facebook or something like that, I say about like any kind of mascot, and think about as to where that people know you work very well to where they're going to go and look at you as like a mascot. And you have right here like a yeah, I was thinking about this right here with like a clock, a type of program to where you can use clock symbols to where do we have a favorite time? Does anybody here have like any type of particular favorite time, like maybe 2 or 3 a.m. or maybe 8 a.m.? So that's just to think about as to where that favorite word to where, yeah, when we look at our shadow, especially, the shadow that reflects right here from the sunlight, and we have right here was me walking right here, and if anybody warrants this tour, that yeah, that they say for little brother careers, and then have it here for little brother, for your little brother careers too, and knowing about for how confident they are using the software program, so like for the license. And I was thinking about with this activity to go ahead and maybe use some shapes, shapes inside, but still that I just thought about go ahead and just use some of the drawings I used right here for graphing paper right here. But anyway, but they have a top up for little brother careers too. May 25. Thanks for watching. Have a